Greetings, everybody. It is March 21st, 2012. And obviously, we have the 3D Earthquake 3D map showing up here, and clearly we can see today there's another 6.6. And this is also in that the 188-day cycle window. And we'll get more into that in a moment. But I'm going to talk about the which was originally a 7.9 earthquake that hit Mexico the other day. And what I'm about to show you has already been presented before from InfoWars and such like that, but I'm also presenting it as well. That this is proof, as if a lot of people, mostly don't need proof that earthquakes can be man-made. And it's also very very startling, because even though they can produce these earthquakes, and as you can see when I show you the evidence here, as you can see, I mean, what it does is it just activates that fault line. And as I showed you the other day, I mean, you just had one earthquake after another. So they really activated that fault line by that one earthquake. And it was made for a simulation. It was made for a drill. And it was kind of funny, because if you look at the videos, they're basically they're basically running out of their buildings as it's just a drill. Even though it did happen. But they wanted to know how people would react. Okay, so they created this earthquake, and I strongly believe that this was a man-made created earthquake. Call it SCALAR, from SCALAR, HAARP, whatever. We know that they're able to do these things. And but clearly we can see right here 6.6. Alright. And this is in that whole 188-day cycle, give or take a few days because of time zones and everything. But this actually happened on which is now Thursday over there, March 22nd, 2012, at 8:15 in the morning at the epicenter. A 6.6 earthquake. Okay. Now, I shared a story with you guys about a month ago. And you guys might remember it, those who watched the video of from Extinction Protocol. International Disaster Training Drill simulates 8.0 earthquake hitting Mexico and unleashing volcanic firestorm. I don't know if many were aware of this particular article, okay? But this was from the Viz Center, and he copied and pasted it, obviously. Let's just read through it here. Don't call us paranoid, but why is the world suddenly having so many disaster simulation drills? Besides the new Madrid quake drill in the U.S., the latest exercise involves several nations and is hosted by San Diego State University. Exercise 24. Mexico is the third iteration of a primarily virtual open invitation humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, or HADR, exercise with real-world functional components. That's pretty key right there. Real-world functional components. That is hosted by San Diego State University's Immersive Visualization Center. Public event kicks off February 8th to the 9th at 2012 at 8 a.m. Pacific, hosted by San Diego State University Immersive Visualization Center. Okay. Exercise 24 is what this program is called. And so they already had this planned, or they were planning on doing something last month at the middle of February. And X24 exercise participants include Department of Homeland Security, Office of Health Affairs, NORAD, Northcom, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Global Borders College, Mexican Army and Navy, Mexico Federal Police, Vietnam Ministry of Defense, India National Disaster Management Agency, World Shipping Council, Red Cross Pacific Disaster Center, Earthuake Logistics, isnt Logistics, National Defense University. The VIS Center is a physical space, but one that largely represents relationships between people and organizations collectively attempting to positively impact the world of humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, community resilience, search and rescue, and aid to Operation Emergency Responders and Homeland Security. Now, all of this sounds good, but I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you know what these agencies and everything is all about. Okay, so quickly go to exercise 24. And this is it right here from Mexico. Mexico is a third iteration of a primarily virtual open invitation humanitarian assistance and disaster relief HAARP exercise with real-world functional components that is hosted by San Diego State University Immersive Visualization Center. Participants include DHS Office of Health Affairs, NORAD, Northcom, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Global Borders College, Mexican Army and Navy, Mexico Federal Police, Ministry of Defense from Vietnam, India National Disaster Management Agency, World Shipping Council, Red Cross Pacific Disaster Center, Earthuake Logistics, National Defense University, and growing. So there's more being added. Okay, the background of this: on 24th and the 25th of September 2010, the VIS Center hosted a virtual HAARP event called Exercise 24. X24 involved over 12,500 people from 79 nations and 90 U.S. governments, non-government organizations, and public-private partners in a collaborative environment using crowdsourcing, social media, and cloud computing applications. This was the first time a collaborative HAARP exercise of this scale occurred online and integrated into real events. Now, it's quite interesting that this whole 188-day theory, which, is a supposed theory, I'll show you in a later article that it is not a scientifically proven theory, even though it is a supposed theory, and it has been quite accurate, give or take a few days, okay, because of the time zones. Now, could it be that all of these major earthquakes that have happened on these 188-day cycles, I mean, the locations that they were predicting is off, but the timing of when they happen is pretty accurate. And it's pretty interesting because these when they talk about these drills, it seems like almost every time there's about to be a big one, every 188 days, this pops up. These things pop up. I'm not saying that every single one was man-made, okay? But I just think it's pretty interesting. Okay, a second exercise, X24 Europe, was held from March 28th to 31st, 2011. X24 Europe transcended all expectations in its ability to form a collaborative bridge between individuals, communities, and nations with over 49,000 participants from 92 nations that included 2 ambassadors, a U.S. Major General, as well as representatives from U.S. European Command, or EUCOM, U.S. Northern Command, U.S. Transportation Command, Office of Navy Research, Star Ties at the Center for Technology and National Security Policy for National Defense University, and many others. The focus area for the scenario was the Balkans region, with a seismic event that generated a tsunami in the Adriatic Sea, followed by aftershock damage inland. 78% of participants were from Croatia, Macedonia, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. Okay, the X24 Mexico goals, demonstrate the use of no low-cost, off-the-shelf social media, crowdsourcing, and collaboration web tools to gather, coordinate, and share actionable real-time information to build situation awareness to help victims of a natural disaster and help save lives. 2. Establish dialogue and build relationships between all partner nations, international organizations, and public-private partners regarding the use of online tools. Again, I'm just reading what's being said here, okay? That this ain't no new conspiracy theory or anything. This is what they're saying. 3. Test online tools to measure effectiveness and streamline cyber information sharing in preparation for the next real-world crisis. 4. Address the virtual flow of information and activities of international organizations during a natural disaster and a terror attack utilizing biological weapons of mass destruction effect. And 5. Encourage all formal and informal groups to activate, participate, or observe the exercise. So this is what this whole X-24 thing is all about. Okay. Now, I don't believe that this is the same X-24 drill that they used for the 7.4 earthquake. But I just think it's kind of interesting that a month ago that this article was posted. Okay. And it just so happens this happened in Mexico just the other day. Okay. Open invitation to formal and informal networks. All formal and informal groups across the globe are welcome to actively participate or observe X-24 Mexico. Governments of partner nations, other municipal, regional, and national governments, non-government, public-private organizations, academic institutions, volunteer technology communities. Schedule of events. Initial planning conference, San Diego, California, which is complete. Mid-planning conference, complete. Final planning conference, complete. This was updated on the 25th of January, 2012. X-24 Mexico exercise, February 7th through the 10th, 2012, worldwide. Academic Day, February 7th. Exercise, February 8th, 9th. And Hot Wash post-exercise review, February 10th. So basically, this was a internet or a virtual simulated earthquake drill. Okay? And they did the exercise on the 8th and 9th of February of this year. And you had a month later, then there was an actual earthquake and another drill that was planned. Even though instead of virtual reality, this was actual reality. So I kind of believe that this probably was a precursor to what they were going to set up the following month, which is the month we are in right now. Okay. And if you want, you can sign up for it. Rules of engagement. This is a no-fault environment where participants are free to explore potential solutions. Participant collaborations, decisions, and actions may not reflect policy, practice, procedure, or previous agreement and are not commitment of policy, practice, procedure, or agreement. All participants must be self-funded and are responsible for any and all expenses related to planning, implementation, and recovering from their activities related to X-24 Mexico. All activities related to X-24 must be safe and legal to be considered a part of this event. All verbal and email communications related to X-24 Mexico during this event will include tests not real in the language of the recipient of the communication. This message must be in the language of the recipient of the communication. All Twitter and Facebook communications must start tests not real prior to any messages, including the hashtag X24 or pound X24. So obviously, they're basically telling you that this is not a real earthquake. This is a simulated test run. Alright? Virtual base, basically. Okay. Now, obviously, we'll take you to the 7.4. I want you to keep an eye on this time right here. 12:02 p.m. at the epicenter of the quake, which was on March 20th, 2012. Alright? Now, this is the real thing, obviously. Okay. Now, I just showed you the whole virtual based test that they were doing a month prior. Okay. Well, this is kind of cut off a little bit, but this is from the government of Chiapas. Is ready for the mega drill. Okay. Gazette on 13th of March. All the links will be posted below, so you'll be able to look at these. Okay, as part of the third meeting of cabinet authorities of the three orders of governments are prepared to carry out, pay attention to the dates, okay, the mega drill to be held on March 20th at about 12 o'clock. When did that earthquake happen? March 20th, 12:02. Isn't that interesting? So they were already planning for this. So obviously they must have created it. There's no other way around it, unless it's just a very perfect timing. Having made the installation of the State Committee emergencies, federal, state, municipal, and civil associations held the last meeting of Cabinet with the aim to provide a structure and the control and coordination of resources in case of a contingency situation. And I mean, if you look at the videos of this, it doesn't look like there was much fright in these people at all. Because, I mean, they probably were part of the drill. Wanted to see how people would react, I guess. And here is an ad. This is all in Spanish. This is for the 20th of March, 2012. Okay. And it actually gives you the exact simulation, 7.9. You go back over here from an article last month. This is what they were simulating in the whole virtual scenery, okay? An 8.0 earthquake. It just so happens that, they were simulating a 7.9. Okay, this was before the earthquake. Here's another article from El Heraldo on March 20th. As part of preparations for the next mega simulacro, March 20th, state authorities of civil protection, or CP, perform exercise tests before a cabinet to simulate the response to a contingency situation. An earthquake measuring 7.9 degrees on the Richter scale. The institution, and again, obviously this has been downgraded to 7.4. I noticed the earthquake. I was up very early in the morning when I made it. When I made a video on it, and it was already at 7.4. Okay, and so they must have downgraded on USGS very, very quickly. It's kind of odd, but this was measuring 7.9. Again, this is before the 7.0 or 7.4 earthquake, which was actually 7.9. So I mean, you got that. So I mean, all of these things that I showed you, basically proves that this particular earthquake, and I'm not saying all of them in the quote-unquote 188-day cycle, was man-made. All right, I'm just saying that this one particular, there is without a shadow of a doubt that this one was planned, and this was man-made. Again, unless it's the epitome of perfect timing, then I don't know. Then I don't know. But I mean, just look at this again. March 20th at about 12 o'clock. And notice it doesn't say 12 o'clock. It says about 12 o'clock. So it could be a little bit before, a little bit after. And again, 12:02 for 48 seconds p.m. at the epicenter on March 20th. Alright, this was before that earthquake. Obviously, Gazette on March 13th. You look at this one. This was on March the 2nd. Preparing for March 20th. 188-day cycle, 189. So, without a shadow of a doubt, this was already set. This was already pre-planned. And I believe they started doing this plan way back in February, according to the virtual simulation drills that they were doing. But that's all I got for now. I just wanted to hone in on this because I know, regardless who creates the earthquakes, I know what the Bible says. There'll be earthquakes in diverse places. It doesn't really matter. But I just wanted to get this out there and let me know what you guys think. Okay? And truth be told, truth be known, stay safe. Blessings, everybody. All the links will be in the description box below. Be safe, everybody. Blessings.